basic skills is defined here as an instructional approach that creates explicit connections between reading, writing, and discipline area.
So in contextualizing literacy, this involves designing and delivering literacy instruction. For example, you will give instructional materials that are familiar to the students that they can easily interpret. So the basics examples of this are when the teachers give an example to the learners. For example, they ask for the example of an animal. So a teacher gave an example of zebra, but it wasn't found here in our country. So the teacher would give an easiest example, which are it can be dogs or a pig or a cat and something that are very familiar to the learners. So they can easily interpret what the teacher needs. So this approach recognizes the importance of connecting literacy skills in daily life or in the real life situation or context. So for example, in teaching contextualizing literacy, it is very important because contextualizing literacy is not static. It means it can be changed in every year or in every decade. So for example, the word bank. So when we say bank, there are different interpretations of bank. First is the bank, which is the financial, di ba? Ang bangko. And next is the bank, which is the river bank, the river geography, the bank, river bank. Also the bank, which is a place to sit in, or the bench bank, usually found in the parks. So the components of contextualizing literacy. There are 4 components of contextualizing literacy. First is the interdisciplinary learning. Please read, everybody.
Interdisciplinary learning.
Okay, everybody, please read.
Interdisciplinary learning by Burns and Erickson 2001. Inherently student-driven, with students making connections across disciplines and synthesizing perspective to come up with their own original ideas.
So interdisciplinary learning, or usually known as cross-disciplinary, it means that it integrates methods, knowledge, or different approaches from different academic disciplines. For example, when a teacher asks a student for a project, so a teacher will give students give time for learners to think critically, which means it allows for their to think. It allows for them to think critically. So basically, it's for their own experience. Now, so the teacher asks for them to build a model or something that the learner will think critically, or allows them to deepen their understanding of the specific academic discipline. So, is there any question about interdisciplinary learning? Do you understand the interdisciplinary learning?
Yes.
Okay, next is the students' collaboration. Please read.
Students' collaboration by Johnson 2002. A process whereby a group of individuals learn from each other by working together.
By the word collaboration, it means the collaboration of the students. So this is highly beneficial for the teachers or even for the students to collaborate with their peers. So it encourages to work in groups of projects that are that require reading, writing, or communication skills. So for example of students' collaborations are peer group or discussions. Then what are the other things that it involves the students' collaboration? Do you have any idea about students' collaboration?
Yes.
Okay, what are the other examples of students' collaboration? Yes, thanks for sharing. Or even the brainstorming. reinforcing literacy skills with meaningful real-world context. So, it places a crucial role in the education approach, such as the comprehension of skills, the communication skills, the development, or even the writing skills of the students. For example, the reading aloud na approaches. Diba, usually, reading aloud, it involves the teachers and the learners. And also, some other literacy strategies are the games for literacy, games that involve literacy. And also, it allows the students to, some of the examples of the use of literacy is the teachers will allow the students to use different kind of books, or the teachers will ask the students what kind of books or what are the books they want to read, or what books that came first from in their mind. So they can easily choose what books they want to read. So it's either they like the cover photo, or they already read that book and it becomes their favorite. So as a teacher, you will allow your students to choose the books they want to read. So it will help them to wake up. So so the students will participate or actively engage in your discussion. Do you understand what is the use of literacy?
Yes.
Okay. Next is the authentic assessment. Everybody read.
Authentic assessment by Johnson 2002 focuses on students using and applying knowledge and skills in real-life settings.
When we say authentic assessment, it involves the evaluating of the knowledge of the students. So it involves the students' readings and writing skills that are connected to the real-life situation. For example, the real-world scenarios. Also, the performance-based tasks, or even the feedbacking of the teachers. Those are the examples of the authentic assessment. So next, the examples of contextualization literacy. First is the mother tongue. What is everybody read the mother tongue?
Mother tongue by Maria
Jhonisa Nuer.
Teachers taught how to help children learn to read in their mother tongue.
So Maria Jhonisa Nuer of Educational Developmental Center in the year 2018, in July 30, 2018. So she said that children find it easier to discuss things because they are using their mother tongue, which is, it can be Filipino or Bisaya or Ilocano. So they can easily express their feelings since they are using their own dialect. So it can express their feelings freely. So that's why the students or the learners are very participative or actively engaged in the class discussion, since they can easily express their feelings through the use of their mother tongue. So next is letter B, more authentic materials by Basa Pilipinas program. Please read everybody.
Basa Pilipinas yielded 40 picture books for kindergarten in 2 different languages, Cebuano, Bisaya, and Ilocano. Basa Pilipinas staff also wrote level readers and read aloud books for grades 1 to 3.
Basa Pilipinas is a program which integrated different contextualization materials. So Basa Pilipinas yielded, they translated books into 2 different languages, which are the Cebuano, Bisaya, and Ilocano. So according to the Educational Development Center's Cecilia Oka, the deputy chief of party for the program Basa Pilipinas, she said that before Basa, there wasn't much opportunity for independent reading or communicating about what you read in public school. We able to introduce literature-based materials that provide more authentic experience for the students. So according the learners will be able to participate, or they can easily understand the textbook that was given by the program in Basa Pilipinas, since it was translated in Cebuano, Bisaya, and Ilocano. So, according to her, this partnership has shown that a mother tongue-based education policy can bring about real literacy gains. So, deep-in multilingual approach to literacy works when teachers and classrooms are well supported. The young learners who can now read in their mother tongue, Filipino and English, are the best testament to Basa Pilipinas program success. So, the students or the young learners will be able to read or to understand the mother tongue or even the English and Filipino translated books, since the Basa Pilipinas programs and the deep-in organizations are collaborating with this kind of approach. So, is there any questions about contextualizing literacy? Do you understand what is contextualizing literacy?
Yes.
So, in summary, contextualizing literacy refers to the practice of teaching and learning literacy skills within the meaningful and relevant context or in the real life situation. So, it goes beyond the reading and writing words and the pages in the book. This contextualizing literacy helps the students to understand or to be involved in participating, since it was translated already in the mother tongue or even in Filipino languages. So that's all for my part.
So, pagpusa naman.
For this afternoon, we are going to continue about the contextualizing literacy. That's one for Filipino learners. Can you read, everyone? Researchers and academic experts Robert G. and Erickson, Patricia M. published a paper that defines contextualized learning as a practice that endures to link theoretical to vocabulary learning to practical, real-world context. In the Philippines, globalizing strategies of teaching improve the learner's reading performance than the common reading strategies. So, according to Burns and Erickson, also the Patricia M., which defines that contextualized learning as a method that aims to connect theoretical concepts taught during learning with a real-world practical application. When we talk about real-world practical application, it is a kind of activity, or it is a kind of approach that as a teacher you need to let the students experience what you need to integrate your activity into real world application in which the student experiences it, and that is why it is contextualizing literacy for Filipino learners. In that way, the learners can gain or can attain knowledge into experience. Next, category number 1. The underlying theme behind the use of contextualized learning activities is simple. It recognizes that the learning instructional context that adult learners are familiar with, learners more readily understand and assimilate those instructions. So in addition to the first line, actually, when we talk about local context, it is an approach that if you as a teacher, you need to specifically design or align your activities to cultural or the culture of each student, and also for example, for the standard
by the Contextualizing Research, Byrne and Erickson state that a local context can be more effective into teaching than the standard reading strategies because in real life situation of the students, during the experience, the students can gain more knowledge if they experience it. So, next. According to Malcolm Knowles, in simpler terms, it means that people, especially adult learners, tend to learn better when the material is presented in a way that relates to their everyday experiences or situations they are already acquainted with. By connecting new information to what learners already know or have experienced, it becomes easier for them to comprehend and integrate the new knowledge into their existing understanding. And also, this approach, the contextualizing approach, is a kind of acknowledge the importance of real-life relevance and practicality in the learning process of the students. So let's proceed to the objective. Well, in this discussion, we are expected to discuss the importance of contextualization in teaching, and we are also expected to choose a wide array of classical and contemporary literary pieces written in a local setting appropriate for a specific grade level. So, can you read the one?
One of the key features of the new curriculum is the contextualization and localization of concepts. Today, contextualization and localization is given importance because of the desire of the state to promote the preservation of culture, local history, symbols, and identity.
So, the contextualization and localization of instruction align with the broader goal of holistic education that not only imparts knowledge, but also nurtures a deep connection to one's culture and heritage. So it explains that why do we need to contextualize it? It's because we need to contextualize our activity. We need to contextualize our activity as a teacher to impart knowledge into our students in order for them to be able to learn, to gain knowledge through their culture, like from their culture or what culture they belong. Next.
This is the concept of contextualization and localization, which is also labeled in many studies as contextualizing teaching and learning. Truly aligns with the trust and mandates of the Department of Education. In its mission statement, the Department of Education is mandated to protect and promote the rights of every Filipino to quality, equitable, culture-based, and complete basic education. Article 16, Section 14 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution states that the state shall foster the preservation, enrichment, and dynamic evolution of a Filipino national culture based on the principle of unity in diversity in a climate of free and artistic and intellectual expression. Section 5 of the same article stipulates that the state shall take into account regional and secure needs and conditions and shall encourage local planning in the development of educational policies and programs.
So overall, these constitutional provisions reflect the Philippines' commitment to cultural preservation, diversity, and localized education policies, all aimed at promoting a vibrant national culture and a responsive educational system that respects the country's rich heritage and regional differences of every learner. Now let's proceed to why use the contextualized approach. I kindly Gia.
According to this generational theories and cognitive psychology research, the contextual learning approach is effective because it aligns with how people naturally learn, promotes engagement, and enhance understanding by connecting learning to real life experiences and concepts.
So the first theorist is John Dewey. Dewey emphasized the importance of experiential learning and believed that learning should be rooted in real-life experiences. According to Dewey, learners understand and retain knowledge and retain knowledge better when it's embedded in meaningful context. Like for example, if field trips. One of the best tools that can be used to provide every student a real-world experience is a field trip. We observe that there are also teachers that they implemented field trips to their students. It is because through experience, the students' experience is that they can gain knowledge and they can also share those knowledge that they understand to their other peers. Next is Vygotsky. So according to Vygotsky, sociocultural theory highlighted the role of social interaction and cultural context in learning. So from the word social interaction is interaction between you and me, and between the students and the teacher, and between students to students.
Yes.
For example, is problem solving. Can you read Patricia?
Problem solving. Promote the development of critical thinking skills, problem solving abilities, and communication skills.
So, in problem solving, it can build the confidence of the students. It is because from the word problem, from the word solving, it really helps the students to solve not a major problem, but a minor problem within the school or within the activities that the teacher will provide. And in that way, the confidence of the students can be built. Next.
Brunner's constructivist theory emphasized the importance of structuring learning experiences in a way that helps learners build on their existing knowledge. He advocated for scaffolding or providing support to learners as they engage with new information in a meaningful context.
So, for example, is a think aloud and guided practice. Think aloud guided practice is a kind of activity that the teacher provided. Like for example, the teacher provide a story book, and the teacher would read it first, and the teacher will ask the student if the teacher will ask the students about I predict that this would be happen next into the story, or the teacher would ask a question. The teacher would ask a question. What did or how did, like a think aloud from the word itself. Think aloud. You let the student think. What is the next next step, or what is the next that will be happen in the story, so that they can dictate that this would be the
Next scene.
yeah, this would be the next scene. Oh yes, the next teacher. Yan na. Okay, next. Theory, real-world application, specificity, sped.
Okay, pedagogical theory. Kariel, can you read it, please?
Contextual learning activities are aligned with the mainstream pedagogical body of knowledge, including motivation theories, social learning theories, problem-centered learning, and modern psychological and physiological research around how human brains learn.
So, in pedagogical theories, it includes the motivation theories. From the word motivation theories, it helps the teacher. It helps the teacher to motivate the every learners of what they did or what they do. And like for example, like the teacher would say, very good, you did it great. And then social learning theories. From the word social, it is called about interaction between the students and with other students, and the interaction between teacher and the students. Next is problem-centered learning, solving real-world problems within the classroom setting. So incorporating this pedagogical theories and insights from psychology and neuroscience, contextual learning activities can create a more effective and engaging learning experience for students, promoting their understanding, retention, and application of knowledge. Next, Liza, kindly.
Real-world application. Rather than teach for the abstract or theoretical world, using contextual learning strategies helps companies prepare their employers to take on real-world challenges that their staff faces in the workplace.
So, in real-world application, in the classroom setting, it is a kind of activities that the teacher would provide for the students for them to be able to take the challenges of the real world happening in the classroom. Like if they experience if they experience those activities, they can think what would be the solution of every experience that they encounter. So next. For example of real world application is role playing, gaming, and whatsoever. Like if you had to remember during your elementary days, I know for sure your teacher would your teacher would give you an activities like you did grow up, you act in your front, and that is called role playing. Next. Gragas. Can you read?
Specificity. Because the contextual learning approach to training, our first relies on context. Trainers can offer content built to deal with company-specific context in mind.
So, and the specificity offered by the contextual learning approach allows organizations to create training programs that are finely tuned to their unique circumstances, ultimately leading to more effective workforce development and better alignment with the company's goals or the school or the goals of the teacher that would be the goal of the teacher that the learner would be able to achieve. Next, speed, Argos, please.
By focusing on the big picture. First, more on this later. This training approach trains employees much quicker than the traditional crawl, doodle, walk, run, approach.
So when we talk about big picture approach, big picture first approach, this screening method starts by giving employees an overview of the entire subject or skill they need to acquire. So in a big picture first approach, the teacher would give an overview about the subject that will be able to teach, that the teacher would teach at the moment she entered the classroom, overview of the subject. And when we talk about crawl, toddle, walk, run, this can lead to quicker learning because they understand the context and can see how individual components fit into the larger framework. So in essence, the big picture first approach accelerate employees training by offering a comprehensive view of the subject matter, fostering understanding, motivation, and efficient development. So back to our second objective, I have here a literary pieces examples in a specific grade level. Like for example, in the grade level of 1 and 2, the title is Ang Alamat ng Pinya or The Legend of the Pineapple. So the author of the Alamat ng Pinya is Virgilio S. Almario. So the description of this alamat is, this is a Filipino folktale adapted for young readers, teaching them about the origin of pineapples and the value of hard work and patience. So for the grade 3 and 4 naman, the title is Si Pagong at Patsing, The Turtle and the Monkey. Author is Jossaine. The description is a fable by the national hero of the Philippines, teaching important moral lessons through the interactions of two animals. And last is for the grade 5 and 6, the title is Noimi Tangeri, Tashminan. Author is Dr. Jhonisa. The description is an iconic novel that explores the social and political issues in the Philippines during the Spanish colonial period. So this can be simplified for accepted for this age or group. And that's all.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This afternoon, I am going to discuss about contextual learning strategies in practice as continuation of the report of Ms. Frasco. So there are 7 contextual learning strategies that need to be considered when deciding your contextualized learning approach. So first, decide with the most relevant approach in mind. Everyone, thank you.
There are a number of contextual learning strategies that you can implement, including knowledge-based, skills-based, and cognitive approaches.
So, as a teacher, make sure that you choose the strategy that most appropriate to the learning you wish to impart to your learners. So, meaning to say, we need to design our activities wherein our student will be able to learn naturally without any hesitation to learn. Okay? Second, design for effectiveness. Everyone, thank you.
Design activities that also teach the procedures, processes, and discipline and how and when to apply those skills and the knowledge in a given context.
So, for our contextualized learning strategies to be more effective, so it is not just sufficient to just impart the knowledge or skills required to achieve a learning objectives. So we as a teacher, we need to design our contextualized learning activities wherein we can help our learners on how or when they are going to apply their learnings in the real world experience. Do you copy that one?
Yes.
So third, design for transference. Everyone?
A research-based publication of the Commission on Behavioral and Social Sciences and Education National Research Council found that a much greater transfer of knowledge takes place when information is organized in a conceptual framework.
design our contextualized learning activities in a way that our children will be able to adapt and transfer the learning in the newer context. So as opposed to just only relating them to just one specific context. Kuha po ba?
Yes.
4. Design and social consciousness.
It is imperative that when pulling together contextualized learning activities as part of a course, you also factor in those social
Nuances means differences. So social differences. So it is undeniable fact that in the near future, we may be able to handle students from different ethnicities, races, social and cultural background, diba? So, for example, in some cultures, it might be appropriate for male and female to work together or to those by peer activities. So, as a result, that learner with a specific cultural background, it might be resistant for her or him to absorb new information. So, we need to design our learning activities to help our children transfer their learning more effectively. 5th, designing iteratively.
In designing learning content, it needs to be more iterative. It starts with an immediate focus on core contextualized learning activities that learners need to perform as part of their daily work routine first.
Iterative means repetition. It involves repetition. So, as a teacher, we need to build a supporting contextualized learning strategies or activities that focus on the basic skills and knowledge required to apply effectively to carry out those broad activities even. 6. Design for groups. Everyone, please lead.
By designing your contextual learning activities with independent learners in mind, you started a better chance that learning will mimic the real world where these individuals will subsequently interact.
So, the most successful contextual learning strategies are those that are designed with groups of learners in mind. Why? It is because in the real world, learners need or must interact with their fellow learners. So, therefore, students will learn more when they subsequently interact from one another. Diba?
Yes.
So, 7. Design assessment appropriately.
When designing your contextualized approach to learning, you should evaluate learners based on authentic assessment instead of measuring their command or remembering or blindly performing specific activities.
According to John Moeller, professor of psychology, defines authentic assessment as assessment where learners are required to show their command of what they've learned by applying that knowledge and those skills to real-world tasks. So, for example, instead of giving them traditional assessment or wherein pencil and paper test, why not give them authentic assessment? Though, diba, those are portfolios, performance tasks. Oh, for example, performance tasks, role playing. Through role playing, it will ensure that the transfer of learning has actually occurred. Diba? Kasi role playing. They transfer their learnings to that activity. And the learners also are well equipped to put their skills or their knowledge learned to use in their role playing. So, in summary, when designing your contextualized learning strategy or activity, we're not only produce knowledge, but through this, it also ensures that our learners absorb the information taught more effectively. Nakuha ko ba? Is there any